siege against because they have that Farsa.
The thing with this too, as we get a glimpse of these lineups, is both can start out really strong if they do get that momentum, of course. But specifically for AP Bren, we'll see if they can emulate what they did in the previous game. We load up into Land of Dawn for game number 2. Match point right now for RSG.
I haven't seen Kyle TC use this Fanny for quite some time, and I know that RSG is familiar with the possible playstyle for this hero because Irad is a Fanny user himself. And a lot of folks already and dealt damage at the top lane. And this is going to be one long game again as expected from both teams. They are great teams, and they're from the Philippines.
Yeah. And,
that's pride.
That's pride.
It is.
We love the pride here for the Philippines now.
Yeah, man, we got to be proud. M5's going to be coming here.
That's right. That's what they're fighting for. Any quickly emblems sticking out here, Redmar?
3 tenacities on the side of RSG. It's on the Valentine of the Carry and the Minotaur. So a little bit tankier is their lineup. It's actually pull yourself together for the Kufra, so he really just wants to get setup after setup. Interesting.
Maybe one reason as to why they picked Farsa, because Farsa can go to places instantly.
Yeah.
So surprise burst play or surprise gank for AP Bren.
Yeah. At the same time, it's sort of, in a way, kind of a stretch, but in a way it matches the map presence of Paquito on the other side.
All right.
Because at least you have a Farsa with her wide range to be able to just look out for the Paquito. Hey, look at Aqua.
Little trivia here. Aqua's KDA, it's just too big.
Too big.
His highest KDA in MPLPH history with nearly 6. But it's a 5.99 among players with at least 200 games played. So there's
That's
little...
high.
Whoa.
200's a lot.
That is
big too.
That is massive.
A lot, I mean.
Massive KDA. And as we see, you know, Aqua very pivotal in a lot of the success that RSG has found over the years, over the seasons. You're going to battle it out for this turtle.
Flap TC with a penalty zone, but Irad will secure that turtle objective. Backs away, and Flap TC will just use it. Oh, wow! Kyle TC just saw Nats in front of him and went for the cut throat with a nice skill for AP Bren, and same goes to the RSG on a turtle pick.
Yeah, what I missed out there is if it was either Nats that saw Kyle TZ or did Kyle TZ see Nats? Like, why is Nats even there? What was he doing there?
He's just doing Nats things. That's what he's doing, right? But yeah, turtle being secured for RSG there is a great start in terms of objectives, right? Because they lost pretty much all of them in the previous game. So they want to be able to control some of that. Oh!
Top play though. We have the TZ Brothers again. A preview of their show at the top lane, but here comes the real entertainment with Knox Entertainment and a penalty zone from Aqua. That is going to be a kill for RSG.
Scrappy. I like Okay.
Kyle TZ is just all over the place. Another kill for him. Just when I said that he is a different type of a Fanny user, he is now an authentic assassin Fanny.
Yep. He switches it up, right? But that's kind of what we expect, though. He locks in the Fanny. If he can get these early kills, great. If he doesn't, there's usually a plan B that he can roll around with. So right now, that is going to be something that RSG wants to deal with. They can't let Kyle TZ snowball himself out of control because we know how that usually ends up being into a place when any of these Fanny players get to that point. He's already sitting on 2 kills, and he is quite deadly already.
And for the rotation of RSG, they're just really focusing on Flap TZ's lane. Again, the threat of having a Terizla. So for RSG, it's surprising that there's no real vision given against a Fanny, because most of the time that is going to be a good counter for them. But so far, it's just folks for both teams, and another turtle team fight probably, but the rest of the players, it's a 5-man AP Bren for this one, and few will receive some damage from Irad.
Yeah. Can they even get close to it? Might be really difficult. Light has his ult, but don't think they will.
Oh, they will just give it to AP Bren, and because of that, there is going to be a play against Irad. Surprisingly, Irad was there just when AP Bren secured the turtle.
Okay.
Kind of wondering, you know, they got the information there, and then,
He just went in a bit questionable for Irad.
Yeah, kind of questionable also for RSG. They look quite off they look like they're off a step, while AP Bren, they're making a lineup that is, again, theoretically supposed to be really difficult. They're making it work. because what County's been doing around the map, them decided to park their Minotaur onto the gold lane, understandably so. RSG's map presence here is near to zero, and AP Bren's just going all over the map, river in the jungle of RSG, while it seems like RSG have funneled into the idea of, yeah, let's just play around Emon.
Yeah, this puts me in basically thinking of the previous game for Irad specifically, where, you know, he really didn't have much room to work with. He was just kind of caught really just trying to catch up in terms of jungle to jungle, and that's where he's going to find himself really quickly if this continues to happen, right? Even with his own purple buff being taken away, going in the hands of Kyle TZ, it will be something to deal with.
Ooh. Okay, there's a nice catch again from Oakwood. Here comes Kyle TZ. Iran is still alive though, and look at that, 3 players of RSG reacted to the play. Although there was a damage already for Eman, Kyle TZ was so close to being that, but at the moment, penalty zone for Flap TZ under the turret. We have Iran on low life, and Super Marco is here as well. Oakwood will catch Eman, so okay, you will use that flicker just to secure a kill against Eman, and Kyle TZ will do those kills. It is gonna be down, but there is gonna be an exchange, but the middle lane turret of RSG is close to being torn down.
Yeah, AP Bren still playing really strongly with the map, the pressure that they're applying onto Ira. The RSG just can't find a flow to fight. And Ogwen, not going to be able to land onto Ira.
So close, but he has the ultimate. Same goes with PC, so why not secure a kill? The flicker was used. Ira is still alive and is successfully able to back away.
I don't know. Props to Irad surviving that, because there was multiple times I thought he was just going to get taken out. Yeah. But ultimately, that's a turtle going to the hands again of AP Bren, furthering some of that lead they have. RSG will look for their own wins across the map as they get that tier 1 down.
Yeah, item check up to a Berserker's Fury already is that Irithel. Meanwhile, still just a Corrosion Scythe on to Emon's carry. Malefic Roar was actually near rushed there by Fanny. He got by Kyle TZ relatively quickly. And I think I understand now the idea that AP Bren is playing around in this with this game. Similar to game number 1, they drafted the lineup that doesn't necessarily need to do a full 5v fight early on. They have the options to skirmish and pick off before, and then go into a fight potentially against RSG, where either because they are at a disadvantage won't fight, or AP Bren will just be going into a 5v4. So now the question for AP Bren is, can you actually hold on to this lead this time and then force that game number 3? Or will it be the same story as game number 1, where it becomes to the point where RSG are in their comfort zone of fighting, and then suddenly you forgot how to team fight as well as your opponent?
Yeah, that's one thing you always have to consider with RSG, is their team fight capability. That's what we saw from the previous game, but right now it's AP Bren with that lead. They're in charge. And we'll see if they can continue to hold it together. We're about 35 seconds away from the first Lord of the game, and that's where we usually see things kind of fall into place. If it is going to go back in favor for RSG to even this out, right? They're not working through anything crazy here, but they still have to respect that lead that AP Bren has, and you're seeing it as they give up now this bottom tier 2 turret. They lose that.
And in an instant, AP Bren just took down a turret against RSG, and right at that moment, there were 3 players from RSG. So anyway, they know that even Open was at that position. So the team fight might probably be on this purple buff, and we will see that set of play from Light. They will catch Flap TZ, and we see 2 effects on the map, but Irad will take some damage. We have the penalty zone against Eman, and Eman's gonna be down. Same goes with Light, but there's a sustain though for them, so secure kill for the side of AP Bren, while Nats is doing some split pushing, some warm-ups at the top lane, and Kyle TZ is there to defend, doing some cables, but the turret is gonna be destroyed.
Nats did his job there, right? Yeah. I mean, that's what he was doing. He was putting the pressure. He knew that that might be a little bit of risk. AP Bren gets a couple kills, furthers their gold lead, and they're also going to secure themselves this first Lord of the game, as they do. But RSG finding what they can across the map. That's the important thing for them. We saw this same thing in the previous game, but that's the thing. Emon this time around is going to be a little bit more difficult on the carry, right? Because of especially the range that she has. but it's only a matter of time before that carry does really start to hurt, especially against the lineup that AP Bren has.
Is it just me or RSG is intentionally not forcing a team fight? They don't
Yeah.
want any team fight.
Yeah, it really does feel that way because they knew that the 2 early kills that they gave to Kyle Teasy was very costly for them. Oh, here's a fight.
Here's a team fight that they are waiting for. That is going to be a kill against Flap Teasy. So Oakwood with a bouncing ball, and RSG will defend against 4 players plus the Lord, but the third of the top lane is going to be destroyed. So this time around, RSG, this might be an easy defense for them here at the bottom lane.
They're not going for the full team fights, but because you saw, it looked like they're really thinking of just getting 1 or 2, but they blew almost all their ultimates
right.
just for those 1 or 2 kills. So you see them, they're still really trying to get what little advantage they could find.
And they saw that stretch from Owen, hence they moved away. And the Lord has been defended at the bottom lane, but look at the damage from Super Marco. Same goes with Hiraldo. So AP Bren will just do the usual thing, just limit the resources of RSG, and lead is now at 4.8k gold.
Yeah, again, this is, those only the first Lord, but they got what they could out of it. And RSG finds themselves in a similar position. Naz, though, has been doing work across the map the best he can. One thing that he does have to be careful, of course, is now, up to this point, that scaling, that damage, even the itemization, that gold lead that AP Bren has garnered themselves is quite deadly, right? Kyle Teasy, especially on this Fanny, once again, will not only be putting pressure on the side lanes like we talked about back in the draft, but if he wants to go for a kill, even if he's by himself, he'll most likely go for it. Take a quick look at the items here. How's it falling in place, Renmar?
The blade armor has to be something that the Irithel of Super Marco needs to watch out for here. I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be another blade armor built up by RSG to answer that Irithel. Irad is only still just up to a Holy Crystal, so yeah, it's been very difficult for Iraz Joy, who has only hovering around 7,000 gold earned. The highest gold earners actually for RSG are Nats and Eman.
All right, well, with that, you can see it even on this chart alone. The damage dealt, RSG's got to climb up there, right in the ranks. Emon is getting to the point, like you even mentioned.
Oh, right on spot. It's going to be Nats, but he is still alive. As to Light, he will make up his own set of play. Flap Easy will get some damage, but comes in for the penalty zone.
Oh!
From the back, though. Super Marco is down with hands of Aqua. This might be it for the Raiders. Some pokes from them. And they will back away. Kyle Easy now on the Sea Halbert. What just happened?
Now, a little bit too eager there by Super Marco. Although it did look really good, you still have to worry about the burst at your opponents that you dove into. You essentially dove into 3. Yes, they were all low health, but there were still a lot of things to consider. Look, the over-eagerness by Super Marco, and that might just cost AP Bren.
Oh, and look at Nats, too. Keeping Kyle Teasy busy.
Better airstrike has been used by Few, hence his position has been revealed. He's now the target. The Lord might be reset. No, Kyle Teasy is here. Who's gonna take this Lord? Iran is there as well. Kyle Teasy for that one. But Kyle is down. We have the balance from Flap Teasy. He has the immortality though, but the RSG will secure the kill. Nope. They will let go of Flap Teasy. Ogwe will come in. So the Lord at the bottom lane. And RSG is to defend this time around.
Wait, I'm also kind of scratching my head a little bit there because Irad backed away from the Lord, and then he just wasn't in time. I don't know. His positioning seemed a little off there.
Yeah.
And they are the ones who started the Lord, right?
Well, yeah. Retry timer reminds me why there's a full second that Irad was behind Kyle Teasy. I don't know if it was at some point RSU just decided to go for the counter punish.
I think
so.
It
does happen. They thought, it might have been too risky to go for the
View is down right on spot with the hands of Irad. And the Lord has been defended this time around by RSU. There's a set of play from Owen. Irad's going to be down. We have Flappies with the immortality, but the damage from Emin is just too much. Owen's still alive. Nats with a bouncy ball will save Owen. And change of target for AP Bren. This time around, it's going to be Nats. It's not forced against Owen is down. But Nats, at least before he dies, there's a kill against RSG. I mean, against AP Bren, a triple kill here for Super Marco.
It's good news for AP Bren. So instantly, it's like AP Bren was able to make something great out of something that could have been insanely terrible for them because Irad just found the perfect angle. He was fabulous.
Just when Renor was about to analyze what happened,
Whoa!
from a flap TZ, look at that. Destroyed turret is at the bottom lane, and Irad is already low life. Just when you respond.
Yeah, the balls needed to do that.
The haircut.
The haircut, man. This flap is pissed off.
It has something to do with the hair.
He's like, Navs, who? He just did that under the turret there in a split second. That is a playmaker right there. Good play from AP Bren.
Yeah.
What it resulted into also is that base turret. Now they'll look for more.
Yeah, and good trust also for Super Marco, knowing that he'll have enough lifesteal to survive. Because he was like in between two turrets, he received damage, he was brought down to 20%. That's why I'm pretty sure people heard me exclaim, huh? Because I was like, this is way too greedy, boys. Oh, never mind, you shut me up. That was a hell of a play by those two.
Very calculated by both players.
Yeah.
At the bottom lane. So look at that. Super Marco is on top in terms of damage.
Whoa, Kyle.
Okay, another risky play from AP Bren. Just finding and just knowing where the players of RSG are.
That's what they have to do again, right? You know, this is kind of also what we expected from Kyle Teasy at this point in the game as we reach towards that later portion, right? We're 16 and a half minutes in. Lord coming up now as well. RSG, honestly, I feel like this is very reminiscent of the previous game when we were wondering, like, do they actually want to fight this Lord? I think they do. You know, I think they're confident enough to actually go into this team fight. As it is now started up, Flap TZ trying to hold it there, everybody getting in position. Also still, Nav's on the top side putting his own pressure. Kyle TZ might go for the one kill, or he might just handle the wave pressure. Lord's gonna go ahead and reset. RSG is still looking for it. If they can get this tier 1 turn to the mid lane down 2, it'd be great for them in terms of space, because right now with that holding on by a sliver of health, it is something they have to keep in mind. So once again, Lord Dance will start up. Nav's still planning himself there on the top side.
You know, for RSG, I think the perfect plan for them this time around is to wait for this purple buff to cool down prior taking the Lord. Since it's a Fanny after all. So no contest.
They're just
no
going.
signs of contest for AP Bren on this Lord.
Wow.
And RSG will just secure that Lord in an instant.
That was a combination of a couple things here, right? I mean, even with Naz putting the pressure up there, and they knew, like, okay, Kyle Teasy, he'll go answer that. And, you know, he kind of handled some of the waves and everything else. And like you even mentioned, that purple buff, not probably, it's going to be up here in a couple seconds. But that was a very decisive decision and call from RSG.
I'm straight up scratching my head. Not literally, but like figuratively. That very confusing. Why AP Bren would give that up like that.
Okay, so
that will haunt them.
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to reminisce what happened, but yeah, AP Bren was there. Oh, what a nice setup play there. Plus this spirit off from Light, but Light is gonna be down. Evan has the damage though. But the thing here is, yes, RSG has the Lord, and Nance is here at the bottom lane. He has the immortality, but Eman will secure that turret in the middle lane. So RSG, I think they will still push through on the pressure that they're giving against AP Bren, although Light isn't available for the next team fight.
Okay, so now ultimately, the Lord that AP Bren gave up just amounted to a whole load of, well, nothing.
A tier 1, that was literally gone anyway. That was like 2 hits away.
Yeah. Huh. Head scratchers, back and forth, and Erad's stealing the orange buff away from AP Bren.
This is, I'm going to say it again, this is like deja vu. It's very reminiscent of the previous game.
Yeah, this is a game.
This is a game.
This is a game.
When Light did set up for RSG, I think it was too soon because it could have been a better option for them if they waited for the Lord prior setup play for a proper team fight.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. In my head, it's very crazy, but if AP Bren were thinking like this, and this is my suggestion, maybe AP Bren were like, give them the Lord. With where the Lord might march, they're gonna pressure the purple buff anyway. Let's just try to get them there and make sure that they don't do anything with the Lord. If AP Bren were thinking that far ahead and actually predicted that perfectly, then wow.
Very
now.
calculated for them.
Yeah, and you can see them at this point. You shift in this moment for RSG when the Lord's not up and there's none of those waves pushing in. Really, your job is like, all right, is purple buff up for AP Bren? Let's maybe make a play there. If we can't, then just go ahead, keep farming up the best you can, and then wait for the next Lord fight, because that's kind of what is happening here. Even for AP Bren, they've got to secure the buff, at least the purple. If they give up, if somehow the orange is taken, then so be it. But you can even see, right, the team wants to plant themselves in a position across the map to allow Kyle TZ to get both buffs, especially before this Lord comes up in about 10 seconds here, because this one will be a very important Lord take. And I don't think, what we saw before from AP Bren, like, you know what, just give up the Lord there. If that's what the plan was, they probably won't do it this time. So expect both of these teams really playing around the conceal, looking for their own angle here from the roamers.
21 minutes already. These two, maybe they just really like each other, you know? Want to maximize the time in the game they have with each
They're like
other.
playing against each other.
Yeah. Oh, Win in Nature for Super Marco and an Antique Harass there for Ogwen, so gotta watch out for that. For the Win in Nature, they'll mostly be just to answer what the Minotaur and what the Paquito could dish out here.
Not just waiting though for Kyle TZ at the purple
Yeah,
buff.
great positioning here. He could catch them off guard. I wonder if he knows there's two members of Bren there. Oh yeah, they see each other.
They know.
Okay.
They know. They're going.
So the movement of RSG is to focus on
Wow.
getting first the purple buff. A lot of control there for RSG. Now, this is the perfect time
Yeah.
for them this time around to start and secure the Lord. So the struggle here for AP Bren is how will they reset this one if RSG starts this.
So even with that, they're still going to plant Naz up there, putting pressure. Actually, no, he's just going to clear the lanes. But given the fact that you don't have a purple buff on this Fanny, you could still make it work for you, right? Like, you could still actually win this Lord fight if you get there, and then the team fight. But it's half health on, they're going to break down.
Okay, so who's gonna take the Lord? We have the penalty zone for Flout TZ, but then spot. We have Kyle TZ on the retribution. Oh, Gwen just rocked his immortality, now he's down. But on the other lane, we have Nax.
Dude, Nax.
The Mingin Wave, finding the players of AP Bren. Super Marco didn't damage against them.
Wow.
Look at Irad taking some damage for the turret. Irad will secure a kill against Flout.
Oh, no.
Kyle TZ, he likes this. He wants this. But no, RSG was ready to defend the third players or their teammates. They have the Minion Wave. Yes,
tough.
AP Bren has the Lord. Is this endable though?
Is it? It might be difficult too. They have enough minion wave here. It might be risky for them to try and continue it right now. And RGPS, it looks like they're going to be backing off. Dude, Nats completely negated few out of that fight.
Oh, wait. The Minion Wave at the bottom lane. So, okay, Nats is forced to back away just to defend this one. And we have 4 players of RSG against 2 players
going.
of AP Bren. This might be a sweep for them, but Galati's will force. No! We have the Minion Wave.
They don't
AP
have
Bren has the Minion Wave. If they don't have it, they're needing in terms of the Minion Wave and AP Bren defense their base.
What is up with these? Too, man. Oh, non-stop entertainment.
They
What is
might still
ours?
end it,
Oh,
though.
Bren. Oh,
This
look at
might be
you.
no, okay, few.
Oh!
Be a kill streak. For Iran, we have Laptisi on the penalty zone. But, okay, a hop from Ogwen, the
That's
base.
it.
And RSG wins against AP Bren with a sweep.
And this winning moment is brought to you by our official sponsor, FWD.